Hello, my name is Izuka Ikedionwu. I previously interned at Lockheed Martin, the space departments, and then 2 internships at SpaceX. One was on the Starlink side, and the other one was on the Falcon 9 development side as well. Then after graduation, I'll be starting full-time at Blue Origin. Yeah, and I'm here to answer some of your questions. Vi, open up the AeroDex, and let's get started. From Ram Nam, which major would allow me to work in aerospace engineering after graduation? This is actually a question that I wish more people asked, so I'm great that you asked it. First, the obvious ones like aerospace engineering and mechanical engineering, but also one thing that I was not aware when I started was also electrical engineering, computer engineering are very much in need, especially for like the power, control, telemetry side. But also some of the more niche ones I would say would be like chemical engineering, material science, even biomedical engineering, and even like nuclear engineering as well. The point is that you understand the basics, so like the fundamentals of engineering, and you've applied it somewhere. So you have your base knowledge, but then you can show that you are a go-getter and that you're able to solve problems that maybe not be unique to aerospace, but are unique to like being a good engineer as well. From Jaden Delai. What are some tips you would give to a freshman aerospace engineer? First tip I would give is just try to keep above a 3.0. Most descriptions don't have it, but some do, so it is a helpful way to not cancel yourself out. And the next thing I would recommend is just to get involved. I usually say try to keep one technical club and then one non-technical club. So either get involved with your school's aerospace engineering club, SAE, or even Baja. I think is a really good way to get real life experience outside of the classroom. Then next, join like a professional club. So that can be like IEEE, if you're like in NESB or SWE, Society of Women Engineers, or ASME, Mechanical Engineers. And so these are really important ways that you can get involved with professionals. And a lot of them may do like interviews, or that's a good way to get like leadership experience as well. So kind of wrap it up just above a 3.0, one technical extracurricular, and then one professional extracurricular. And you're set from there. From a Reddit user, what are some companies you recommend first semester freshmen in college to target for internships? So as a freshman, it can be difficult to get an internship. So one, I would just recommend, keeping your GPA up, and then companies, target all the companies that you're interested in, like the big ones, but specifically target companies that are local to your area because they'll be more familiar with your curriculum, with your school, and with some of your counselors as well. And then a lot of your university like career center helpers, they have some connections with aerospace companies as well. So I'd be less focused on the specific companies, but just like a company that can really help. So yeah, so big ones, local ones, and then any ones where your counselor has like connections at. From Is This Real 570, can you find employment if your overall GPA is a 2.8? Short answer, yes. Long answer is a lot of job descriptions, if they have a GPA minimum, then you may not qualify for that. But most descriptions don't have that because it's not the defining fact. That being said, you do want to beef up other parts of your resume, your personal projects and your experience, maybe undergrad research or something like that to prove you can get the job done. So it's definitely not an application killer, but it does mean that you need to emphasize other parts of your application as well. From Glum Security 527. I'm a third-year aerospace engineering student, American citizen, and I've applied to just under 200 internships for the summer, and I've not gotten a single interview yet. Does anyone know why I'm apparently toxic to aerospace companies? Honestly, I understand the struggle. I really understand the struggle. One thing I would say that all it takes is one application, one interview, and just one company to say yes for it to happen. So just keep pushing through, and it will happen as well. Going on, I would just say to utilize your career center as much as possible. Help you with like resume help is a big one. They understand like company recruiters that are looking for students as well. And then your school's career fair, if they have one, that is paramount. That's a great opportunity for you to get your foot in the door as well. And a big one, and one that I use, and I know a lot of people do, is that they actually apply to non-aerospace companies. So a lot of people that I've worked with that come from like the automotive industry, come from the like healthcare, like medical, like biomedical engineering as well, and even power. Even if your goal is aerospace engineering, I would definitely apply into other industries. There is a lot of carryover, and experience is very helpful in that. From Zelme Zero. Just got told by someone here that as an international student majoring in aerospace aeronautics, chances of getting a job is nil. Is this true? So I'm going to be honest, I am not sure. I work with some international students, but I don't really know the competition or how many positions there are. I do know for aerospace companies, it can be kind of difficult for that, but I know a lot of jobs usually specify that. So if you go for jobs that don't have that, then you should be in a pretty good spot. From Asaili, what was the nature of your first internship? What kind of work did you do? And did you meet your expectations? Did it pay? And roughly how much? So my first internship was actually at ExxonMobil in Spring, Texas, which is like a suburb of Houston in Texas. And I was on the software team for their infrastructure for like the oil rigs and stuff like that. So the big initiative was to electrify the Permian, or like where a lot of the oil rigging is, or just like in the US in general. So I was working on a dashboard that worked on a lot of like front end development as well as like back end. So I worked up with like data analysts and field engineers and setting up hardware as well. It wasn't as technically challenged I would like to, but I think the hard part was a big part was like the customer focus. So since I was making a product for people to use for like really important stuff, it was really important to get that right, to make sure they could use it, to make sure it was in real time, to make sure that it was accurate. And that was really, really fun. So I learned a lot with working with people, time management, project management, and really just networking. Since I was at the headquarters, there was a lot of people to talk to. Ended up talking to the CTO, talking to like a manager as well. And everyone's really, really nice as well. So if like you're an intern, use that to your advantage to meet really cool people and network. Let me see, what was the second part? Did it meet your expectations and did it pay and roughly how much? And I would say that it definitely met my expectations. My family is a very like in the medical field. So I'm used to like hospital. So it's my first time like in like a corporate area, which was really, really fun. They catered Chick-fil-A for us. They hosted events for us, like Top Golf and stuff like that. And I met a lot of great interns, a lot of really smart and fun interns as well. So it was really, really fun. I had a great time. I don't think oil and gas is my industry, but if you are, that's a great place to work. It did pay. And at the time, this was 2022, it was 36 an hour. So it pays pretty well. And then if you go for a second internship, they pay more than that. I'm not sure what it is now, but at my time, that's what it was. From a Reddit user, how do you minimize mistakes at your internship? That is a great question. And I was really nervous too, because you're working on, something goes into space and that stuff like isn't cheap. So like, are they going to trust me with that kind of stuff? And one thing I would say is that's what you do a lot of like design reviews. So you'll do something that you present it, or you have like a manager or something that looks over your work. And it's not just an intern thing. Everyone kind of does that. That's kind of like the nature of the job. You don't want to be the only person that's seen something that's kind of checked it. So I would say that there's built-in like guardrails as well. Then also there's like testing, kind of using like a software reference. Is like you can build software, right? But if you go through the designated test cases, it doesn't matter if you're, a principal engineer or an intern. If it passes those test cases, then it's correct for like production as well. And so there's like analogous setups for that. And also it's just like asking questions. You're going to make a mistake. That's inevitable. You're going to. The point is that you work well around them and that you're able to like overcome them. So don't be scared to make a mistake. I would be more scared to make the same mistake twice, I would say. From Kids on the Block. As an incoming engineering intern, how can I maximize my chances of obtaining a full-time offer once I graduate? Well, again, first, congratulations. That's awesome. I hope it's an amazing time. And one I would say is to make sure that you ask a lot of questions. I think no one really wants to look stupid or look helpless, but you're an intern. They're expecting you to ask a lot of questions, so take advantage of that. It can almost always be like negative if you're not asking too much questions and it takes you longer to finish a task. Next, I would say to use the 3x3 method. What you want to do is when you come up with a question or you're trying to problem solve, is your 3x3 method. Let's say you come up to a problem, you think and try 3 different ways to solve it. And then before you ask your manager or supervisor, think of 3 different solutions and then ask them what their thoughts on. If it's like, I don't know, any really test, like tying your shoe. I try to tie my shoe 3 times. I did it this way, and this way. I'm stuck, and my next step, I want to do it this way, this way, this way. What are your thoughts on these 3 methods? And then you kind of work from there so they know that when you tried this, that you're also thinking ahead. And so you're going to use that often as well. And then next, I would say is to be visible and consistent. So one thing that I like to do is at the end of the week, I would like to make or just write my manager or supervisor an email of all the things that I did that week and all the things that I want to do next week. And then if I'm on different like hiccups, then that'll help. I mean, in general, if you're communicating well with them, they should already know, but it's good to keep it in writing because then it just kind of shows that you're on top of things and then you can like manage yourself and go forward. Next, I would say is to be proactive. So if you see something that needs to be done, then go do it and then tell them afterwards. Or if you're working on a project, try to be as resourceful as possible, you know? So maybe not ask your manager if, oh, who should I contact for this? Maybe go ask someone else, hey, who can you help me with this? And if not, branch out. So there you can meet new people. It also shows initiative as well. And then in your email or say at the end of the week, you can be like, hey, I got in contact with this person and this person for this project. And they'll think, whoa, you didn't need my help with that one. You're being proactive with that. So just look for things that you can not only like work on yourself, but also like help your manager work with as well. And that'll be good. And then kind of like a cheesy thing I like to do is one is like take the first maybe week or so and learn whenever your manager or whoever like is your supervisor, when they come in and when they leave, and just try to show up like maybe 10, like, I don't know when it is, but always show up before them and always leave like after them. Even if it's like 5-10 minutes, but kind of understand their schedule. Cause you don't want to be the intern that's like leaving early or like showing up late, even if it's by 30 seconds. So that's one thing that I would recommend is finding out what the schedule is and then get there, 10 minutes before them and then leave, 10 minutes afterwards. I wouldn't be like looking at the clock for that, but just the idea is that to show up before and after that. This one made me laugh, actually. Do I even know? From Joelito, Matlab versus Python. For aerospace industry, which one is better or more widely used? So in my experience, I've used both. I've probably used Python more, but I've seen other people use Matlab more. So Matlab is great. It's easy syntax and it's great for like modeling and graphing data sets. For Python, it's very easy for like simple stuff and automating and also like number crunching. So I would say that it is a tie. If you can learn both, then learn both. But if you had to learn one, I would say to learn Python because one, it's free and everything you can do in Matlab, you can do in Python, even if it's a little bit harder. But I would say like the modeling for Matlab is a key factor. So if it's anything but modeling, I would say Python, but Matlab is good for modeling stuff. From Lemure TTV, any tips for the SpaceX technical interview? So first off, I would just say like, if you have an interview there, congratulations. And then the first tip would just be ask clarifying questions and state your assumptions. So before you answer, just state your assumptions, ask clarifying questions, and just make sure that you understand the problem that they're asking for. Next, I would say as you're working through the problem, they're not always expecting you to get it right, but they are testing your thought process. So even though you may not get it right, it's important for you to vocalize your thoughts, vocalize where you're having trouble, and then vocalize parts that you understand well. And that'll help a lot. Next, I would say, depending on what position you're going for, it could be structures, avionics, fluids, just really understand the fundamentals. One thing that I've noticed is that they may not ask the most complicated niche questions, but they'll ask you a basic question and expect the complicated niche answers from it. So a question that you may be like a normal person can answer in 1 or 2 sentences, you should be able to have, like a 10-minute conversation about that. So I'm on the electrical side. And a really easy question would be, okay, what is a capacitor? So you can answer that in 1 or 2 sentences. But if you're able to talk about the different types of capacitors, where to use it, where to place it, the different equations that go along with it, how they interact with other parts, how you've used it, in theory, how it could be used as well, that'll really set yourself apart. And then next would just be use your online resources. They're pretty secretive with the questions that they ask, but you can use like similar questions or similar type of companies questions that are out there and just kind of get practice questions that way. From Quora user, if you had job offers from Lockheed Martin and SpaceX, where would you work and why? This is a great question. I know people have gone from SpaceX to Lockheed and vice versa. And it really just depends on what you're looking for in a job and what stage are you. So me, I am young and I am the type that, I'll work, those 50-hour weeks and want to work with the greatest people. So I would pick SpaceX in this scenario. It also depends on what you want to work on as well. So I specifically like space stuff and rockets. And so that's what SpaceX works on. So if you're just anything that goes in the air, it's a lot more broad with Lockheed as well. And I'll say the work-life balance is better at Lockheed and in general have better like benefits. But yeah, I really like specifically like space stuff. And I like the environment that SpaceX has now. When I'm, older, if I was, maybe 45, 50, then it may be the other way around. But for now, that's kind of where my head's at. From Chinese Panda, is grad school worth it? First, great question. And like every engineering answer, it depends. So one, it depends on what you want to do because some disciplines almost require some sort of grad school experience or like grad school education, and then some don't. So one thing I would really do is look into people that are already in the field and kind of look at their background. And if you can have this kind of conversations, that's good. Some companies also pay for your master's and sometimes your PhD. So it is a great idea for you to maybe like, if you're looking for that, look for those kind of companies. And some schools have scholarships for it. So if it's free and you're interested in it, that's also amazing. Also, what I would do is get involved in undergrad research. So then you kind of get a taste of what you're looking for, kind of what area you want to go into as well. So I'm getting my master's because when I got a scholarship for it, and in my field, that is something that I see more often than not. But like I said, it really depends on what you want to do, what company you want to work for as well. So I can't give you a hard answer, but yeah, it depends. And that's all the questions I had. I hope you guys learned something. And until next time, close the AeroDex. Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you'd like to ask Izuka some questions, then head over to r/Aerospace Career Guide. There you can ask him some questions for the next 24 or so hours. And then if you like this type of video, let me know by liking and commenting what type of future guest you'd like to see. Thanks again. Peace.